The sky over the remote desert was calm, a pale orange as the sun began to set. Then, without warning, a streak of light tore across the horizon. It moved faster than anything human eyes had seen, leaving a trail of shimmering heat in the air. Birds scattered in panic, and a few distant satellites briefly recorded the anomaly before being overwhelmed by the strange energy radiating from it. By the time it landed, the desert floor shook violently, and a plume of dust rose hundreds of meters into the air. The object that had fallen was enormous, easily a kilometer long and unlike any human-made ship. Its surface was smooth, dark, and reflective, with strange geometric patterns etched into it. It was clearly alien. Scientists, military officials, and reporters from around the world rushed to the site. Satellites and drones circled overhead as news agencies broadcasted live feeds of the massive, smoking wreck. Governments declared the area a restricted zone, but curiosity was impossible to contain. Inside the ship, the air was thick with silence. Nothing moved, no life signs. The alien vessel had clearly suffered a catastrophic failure, but its structure was mostly intact. To the aliens who had created it, the ship was a failure, a defective model abandoned in the vastness of space. But to humans, it was an unprecedented treasure. Dr. Lena Ward, a brilliant engineer from NASA, was among the first to examine the ship. She had studied aerospace technology her entire life, but had never seen anything like this. "It's impossible," she whispered, staring at the strange panels that seemed to pulse with a faint blue light. "No human technology could do this." Her team carefully made their way inside through a massive breach in the hull. The interior was unlike any human design. Smooth corridors twisted at impossible angles, and gravity seemed uneven, fluctuating slightly as they moved. Holographic symbols appeared on walls when they approached, then disappeared when they moved away. Lena felt a shiver of awe and excitement. "This is what humans dream of," she said, "but we'll have to be careful. We don't even know if it's safe." For weeks, teams of engineers, physicists, and programmers worked around the clock. They tried powering the ship, but every attempt failed. Systems blinked on and off erratically. It was clear that the aliens had left no simple way to operate it. The ship was meant to be controlled by its creators alone, or so they thought. Among the human teams, a young engineer named Alex Chen noticed something unusual. While others struggled to make sense of the alien consoles, Alex observed small patterns in the ship's energy pulses. "They made a mistake," he told Lena one night, pointing at a series of lines on a display. "They overcomplicated the interface. There's a flaw here. It's tiny, but it's there." Lena leaned closer. "You really think we could control it?" Alex nodded. "If we exploit this, we could activate parts of the ship. Not the whole thing yet, but enough to see what it can do." It was a gamble, but humanity had always thrived on challenges. The team focused on the flaw Alex had discovered. Slowly, they coaxed small systems to life. Lights flickered in the corridors, doors hummed as they opened and closed, and a low vibration ran through the hull. The ship was responding, but unpredictably. Outside, the world watched nervously. Satellites detected energy emissions from the ship, far beyond anything humans had produced before. Rumors spread quickly. Some nations feared an alien attack. Others saw a chance for technological supremacy. Lena and Alex knew that if they succeeded, humanity would gain access to knowledge that could change everything. One evening, as the desert sky darkened, Alex and Lena managed to activate a small chamber within the ship. Inside was a device that appeared to manipulate gravity. A small rock floated in midair as if the laws of physics had been rewritten. Lena laughed in disbelief. Humans have only imagined this in science fiction, and now it's real. But the aliens were watching. High above the planet, sensors on other ships monitored the crashed vessel. They saw human activity and were confused. Their technology was sophisticated enough to understand that the humans were meddling, but they underestimated human creativity. The alien commanders debated. "The vessel is flawed. Any attempt to repair it will fail," said one. Another disagreed. "Humans are unpredictable. They may find a use we never imagined." But in the end, they left, deciding the ship was worthless. Humanity was on its own. Back on Earth, Alex's team continued to experiment. They discovered that the ship could interface with human technology. Computers, power grids, even vehicles could connect to the alien systems. The more they experimented, the more they realized the potential. The vessel was not just a ship. It was a tool, a weapon, a machine that could amplify human ingenuity far beyond anything the aliens had intended. One night, as Lena watched the stars, she thought about the possibilities. "They abandoned it because they saw humans as weak," she said. "They didn't realize humans never give up. We adapt, we learn, and sometimes we turn their mistakes into our greatest strengths." Alex smiled. "Exactly. This ship, it's not just their failure. It's the beginning of something new, something powerful." Weeks passed, and the world slowly realized the magnitude of what humans had discovered. Scientists gave lectures, governments held emergency meetings, and private companies offered enormous sums to study the technology. But Lena and Alex knew the real value was not money, it was knowledge, and knowledge in human hands was unstoppable. One day, while testing a new interface, Alex noticed a small panel opening on its own. Inside was a display of alien coordinates, other ships, other bases, and perhaps even plans for more advanced technology. "This is bigger than we thought," he said. "They didn't just abandon a ship, they abandoned their secrets." Lena nodded. "And now they're ours. Not because they gave them to us, but because humans don't need permission to succeed. We take what we need, we improve it, and we survive." The desert wind blew across the wreckage, carrying dust and heat. The ship glimmered faintly under the moonlight, a silent promise of power waiting for humans to unlock. By the end of Part 1, humanity had only just begun. They had found the alien ship, understood its potential, and realized that the universe might have underestimated them. A small flaw, overlooked by alien minds, had given humans the key. And as Lena and Alex stared at the glowing corridors, they knew that one day the world, and perhaps the galaxy, would never be the same. The desert winds had calmed, but the alien ship still hummed softly, as if it were alive. Humans had spent weeks exploring its corridors, deciphering alien symbols, and learning how even small systems could be activated. Every day brought new surprises, each one more astonishing than the last. Inside the massive hull, engineers and scientists worked like ants in a hive. Lena Ward coordinated the teams, while Alex Chen focused on understanding the ship's energy systems. Small successes began to accumulate. Doors that had been locked for centuries now opened at human command. Lights blinked in patterns they could predict, and tiny drones stored inside the ship could be powered using human methods. "The ship is learning," Alex said one night as he studied the alien interface. "Not like humans learn, but it adapts to our methods. It's responding to human thought patterns." Lena shook her head in disbelief. "Or maybe it's just letting us in. Either way, it's incredible. Every failure we had before now looks like a step toward something big." The first real breakthrough came when Alex managed to connect the ship's energy grid to a small experimental drone. As soon as the drone powered on, it hovered effortlessly, almost as if it had no mass. Lena watched, her heart pounding. Gravity manipulation, this is beyond anything humans have achieved before. Teams began testing other systems. They discovered that the ship's internal AI, or whatever system controlled it, could interface with human computers. A laptop connected to the alien console could analyze energy flows and suggest modifications. Slowly, humans were teaching the ship their own methods of problem solving. But not everyone was cautious. Some military officials, eager to see results, pushed for more aggressive tests. They mounted weapons onto alien platforms, trying to fire them without fully understanding the controls. The first attempt was disastrous. Energy arcs erupted from the ship, scorching the desert sands and nearly destroying a testing vehicle. Lena scolded them gently. "We're not just using their tech, we're learning from it. If we rush, we'll destroy it or ourselves." Yet even these near disasters taught valuable lessons. The ship was unpredictable, but humans thrived on unpredictability. Unlike the aliens, who had designed every system to operate according to strict protocols, humans could improvise. They could adapt to failures, learn from mistakes, and find solutions that the alien creators had never considered. By the third week, Alex had managed to activate a portion of the ship's weapon system safely. It wasn't ready for combat, but it could project a concentrated energy field that moved with precision. Engineers tested it on empty rock formations and abandoned vehicles, observing how the energy field behaved. Each test brought excitement and fear in equal measure. "The aliens abandoned this thinking it was useless," Alex said one evening, wiping sweat from his brow. "But they didn't know humans would see it differently. We don't just operate machines, we improve them." Word of the experiments began to leak. Satellites captured energy spikes from the ship, and global intelligence agencies started asking questions. Some feared an alien retaliation. Others realized the potential. If humans could control this ship, Earth would become the most powerful planet in the galaxy. Meanwhile, high above the planet, alien observers detected human activity. Their sensors picked up every attempt to power systems, every test of weapons, and every new connection made with human technology. Alarms spread through their fleets. "This is unexpected," one alien commander muttered, watching live feeds of a drone hovering in the desert under human control. "They should not be able to do this. Our vessel was designed to be unusable by weaker species." Another alien, more experienced, replied coldly, "Humans, they are unpredictable. They learn, adapt, and improvise. Perhaps we underestimated them." Back on Earth, humans continued to unlock the ship's secrets. Alex discovered that the energy field could be expanded. Using human ingenuity, they could direct it in precise ways, making it capable of destroying or manipulating physical objects from a distance. Lena oversaw simulations, making sure the experiments did not spiral out of control. One afternoon, the team decided to test a more complex system, the ship's propulsion and maneuvering interface. Using a combination of alien controls and human software, they managed to move a section of the ship slightly, hovering it above the desert sands. It was only a few meters, but it sent shockwaves through the human teams. "This is incredible," Lena whispered. "We are literally moving alien technology with our own minds guiding it, almost." Alex grinned. "It's not just moving, it's responding to us. Every adjustment we make, it adapts. We're teaching it our way of thinking, not theirs. That's the real power here." Humans' experiments did not go unnoticed. The aliens tried remotely accessing the ship, attempting to reclaim or shut it down, but every attempt failed. The ship now recognized human interfaces as valid control sources. The aliens had never anticipated that their vessel could be claimed in this way. The first test that truly frightened the aliens came when humans combined the ship's energy field with human drones. A group of drones equipped with alien power cores moved in formation, guided by human operators. When they fired, the energy arcs cut through old rock formations with surgical precision. The display was spectacular, and even seasoned military personnel were stunned. "They really are turning our failure into a weapon," one alien observer said, voice trembling. "We never imagined this. The humans, they are dangerous." Humans, of course, had no intention of using it for conquest, yet their goal was simple: understand, improve, survive. And in doing so, They had begun something far greater than anyone could have predicted. In the desert, Lena and Alex worked late into the night. They had discovered that the ship contained hidden data files, schematics, energy formulas, and coordinates pointing to alien fleets and bases across the galaxy. "This is bigger than we imagined," Lena said, scrolling through alien symbols that gradually made sense with human software translation. "They abandoned not just the ship, but their secrets. We could learn more in a year than they have in centuries." Alex's eyes shone with determination. "And we will. We'll reverse engineer everything we can." They thought humans were weak, slow, and primitive, but they forgot one thing: humans never stop learning and we never give up. The ship pulsed faintly as if acknowledging Alex's words. Its glow was subtle, almost like a heartbeat. Humans had awakened it, and now it was part of their world. Over the next weeks, the humans refined their systems. They learned to predict the energy flows, stabilize the ship's power, and even integrate human-made computers to enhance control. Every day, the vessel became more human, not in shape or design, but in responsiveness, adaptability, and flexibility. Finally, the day came when the humans dared to test the weapon system in a controlled but realistic scenario. A series of abandoned drones and old vehicles were set up as targets. Alex guided the energy field, directing drones with precision. The targets were destroyed, disassembled, or moved without a single human hand touching them. The experiment worked flawlessly. Lena smiled, pride shining on her face. "They abandoned it thinking it was broken, but we see what it truly is: a tool, a weapon, and a symbol." They underestimated humanity badly. The aliens, observing the results, could not hide their alarm. High-ranking officials called emergency meetings across multiple star systems. Plans were drafted to reclaim the ship, destroy it, or prevent humans from learning further. But all attempts would fail. The humans had learned too fast, adapted too efficiently, and turned alien arrogance against itself. In the desert, under the stars, Alex and Lena walked among the glowing corridors of the ship. "We're only beginning," Alex said softly. "This is more than science or weapons. This is proof that humans can take what others discard and make it into something extraordinary." Lena nodded. "Exactly. The galaxy thinks humans are weak, that we are simple, unworthy of their attention. But every mistake they make, we turn it into strength. This ship, it's just the start." And with that, humanity continued its work, not as a simple planet struggling to survive, but as a species ready to rise. The aliens had dumped their failed ship on Earth, thinking it worthless. But humans, as always, were never ordinary. They adapted, improved, and were already beginning to turn the impossible into reality. The desert hummed softly, carrying the energy of a ship awakened by human minds. A new era had begun. Humanity was learning to harness power beyond its comprehension, and the galaxy would soon take notice. The desert was quiet that morning, but inside the alien ship, a storm of activity raged. Engineers, scientists, and military specialists worked together in a symphony of human determination. Weeks of careful study, failed tests, and small victories had brought them to a turning point. The ship no longer hummed erratically. It moved as if it were listening. Alex Chen stood at the central console, staring at a holographic display of energy flows. Lines of alien code intertwined with human algorithms, forming a pattern he had begun to understand intuitively. "It's ready," he said, voice barely above a whisper. "We can control all of it now." Lena Ward approached, her boots echoing on the smooth floor. "Are you sure? We've made mistakes before. One wrong move," Alex smiled, a mixture of nerves and excitement in his eyes. "We've learned from every mistake. The ship has learned from us too. We're not just controlling it, we're enhancing it." Across the globe, scientists monitored energy readings. Governments had begun to understand the scale of what was happening in the desert. The human race, long underestimated by other civilizations, was about to demonstrate its true potential. The first coordinated test was simple: move the ship slightly, activate its energy field, and guide a drone swarm through an obstacle course. What followed was beyond human expectation. The drones obeyed commands with precision. Energy arcs cut paths through rock formations without touching the surrounding environment, and the ship's propulsion responded instantly to human input. "This is unreal," Lena said, eyes wide. "It's like it's alive, but it's alive in a human way," Alex laughed. "Exactly. The aliens thought it would be unusable by us, but they never considered that humans can improvise, adapt, and think creatively. We don't follow protocols, we make our own." Meanwhile, the aliens who had abandoned the ship monitored every signal. Panic swept through their fleets. "The humans, they have mastered the vessel," an alien commander hissed. "We left it thinking it was defective." "But they are evolving it," another alien, more cautious, replied. "We underestimated them. Their adaptability, it is unlike anything we've encountered. We must intervene before they become a threat." But it was too late. Humanity had already begun to integrate the ship into other technology. Military vehicles, spacecraft, and drones were enhanced with alien power cores. Human ingenuity improved every system, making the vessel faster, stronger, and smarter than its original design. Lena oversaw a test of the weapon systems. The plan was precise: target a series of abandoned structures in the desert, avoid collateral damage, and measure energy output. Alex guided the energy field, concentrating power into thin beams that cut with surgical precision. The results stunned everyone. Walls crumbled, vehicles were disassembled midair, and debris floated harmlessly away. The team cheered, knowing they had achieved something the aliens never could. "They abandoned it," Alex said, breathing heavily. "They thought it was a failure. But look at it now. It's humanity's strength. Every mistake they made, we turned into a tool." The next phase involved testing the ship's propulsion. By carefully synchronizing human control with alien algorithms, they lifted a section of the vessel fully into the air. It hovered effortlessly, responding to human commands instantly. Engineers documented every movement, every adjustment. "Now we're not just controlling the ship," Lena said. "We're enhancing it. We're making it better than the aliens ever imagined." Word of human progress began to reach other planets. Advanced civilizations, who had long ignored Earth as a primitive world, now paid attention. Sensors detected unusual energy emissions, and intelligence networks flagged Earth as a rising power. High above, the alien fleets tried again to regain control. They transmitted commands, attempted to disable human systems, and even considered sending troops to reclaim the vessel. Every attempt failed. The ship now recognized humans as the primary operators. Alien interventions were ignored, overridden, or redirected. In the desert, humans conducted the most daring experiment yet. A drone swarm, powered and guided by the ship's energy field, was sent to intercept a simulated threat, a massive, rogue spacecraft mock-up. The drones moved with speed and precision, neutralizing the threat without a single human hand touching the controls. Lena and Alex watched in awe. "They will never see us the same way again," Lena said quietly. "They thought humans were weak. But this is proof that we are not just survivors. We are innovators, problem solvers, creators." The aliens' panic reached its peak when a full-scale simulation showed that humans could now coordinate multiple ships and drones simultaneously, creating a force the aliens could not counter. Their fleets, designed for efficiency and following strict protocols, were no match for the unpredictability and creativity of human-controlled systems. "This is impossible," one alien commander admitted. "They adapt faster than we anticipate. Every plan we have, they will find a way around it." Back on Earth, humans were preparing to take the ship out of the desert. Transport systems were activated. allowing parts of the vessel to move to secure locations. Scientists plan to integrate human spacecraft with alien systems, creating hybrid vehicles capable of interstellar travel. Alex and Lena walked through the central corridor, now fully illuminated and humming with energy. "It's incredible," Alex said. "We've taken a failed alien vessel and made it ours. Not just ours, but better," Lena nodded. "The galaxy thinks humans are insignificant. They don't realize that we don't just survive, we thrive. We take what others discard and turn it into strength. That's what sets us apart." For the first time, humans were no longer just learners. They were innovators. They had taken alien technology, mastered it, and improved it. The ship, once abandoned, was now humanity's greatest weapon, not for conquest, but as a symbol of their ingenuity and adaptability. And as the sun set over the desert, casting long shadows across the glowing hull, Lena and Alex knew that the galaxy would soon take notice. Humans were no longer a species to ignore. They were a force that combined creativity, resilience, and courage, the ultimate equation of power. The aliens would come to learn that underestimating humanity was the gravest mistake they could make. And when they did, they would discover a species that could turn failures into victories, chaos into order, and discarded ships into instruments of awe-inspiring power. For now, the ship rested in the desert, glowing faintly like a heartbeat. But soon it would rise, fully integrated with human technology, guided by human minds and ready to change the course of history. Lena looked at Alex. "Are we ready for what's next?" Alex smiled, eyes reflecting the ship's glow. "We've always been ready." They just never believed it. And with that, humanity stepped closer to a future no one, not even the aliens, could have imagined. The desert was alive with light. The alien ship, now fully integrated with human technology, pulsed with energy that far surpassed anything seen on Earth. Every corridor glowed softly, every panel responded to human commands, and the drones controlled by its energy field moved like a perfectly synchronized swarm. Humanity had done what no one thought possible. They had turned abandoned alien technology into a fully operational, formidable weapon, and proof of human ingenuity. Lena Ward stood at the central control room, her eyes scanning the holographic displays. Maps of nearby star systems, alien fleets, and distant colonies appeared before her, all connected to the ship's interface. "It's ready," she said softly, the weight of the moment settling over her. "We've mastered it completely." Alex Chen nodded, his fingers hovering over the control panel. "Not just mastered it, we've improved it. Every flaw they left, every oversight, we turned into a strength. We didn't just inherit their failure, we made it ours." Outside, engineers and military personnel prepared a demonstration. This was not a test, not an experiment. It was a statement to the world and to the galaxy. The humans had learned the ship's capabilities: energy manipulation, precise targeting, and propulsion systems that could rival any known vessel. The first demonstration was simple, yet powerful. A rogue asteroid, set up as a test target, approached the desert site at high speed. Humans activated the ship's energy field, directing drones to intercept. Within seconds, the asteroid was shattered, its fragments harmlessly floating into the desert sky. Observers, scientists, military officials, and journalists gasped. They had known humans had accomplished something great, but seeing it in action was another matter entirely. This changes everything," Lena whispered, watching the debris. "We can protect ourselves, yes, but more than that, we've shown that humans are capable of mastering what others cannot." News of the demonstration spread quickly. Within hours, signals reached distant star systems. Aliens who had once ignored Earth as a primitive world now paid attention. Their fleets, long accustomed to predictable patterns, were disrupted by reports of human adaptability. The species that had been underestimated for centuries had claimed its place among the galaxy's rising powers. High above Earth, alien commanders held emergency meetings. "They have taken the ship we abandoned and made it. Extraordinary," one said. "Every plan we have to contain them will fail. Their ingenuity is unmatched." Another alien, his voice trembling, added, "We underestimated them. They are not weak. They are dangerous. We must reconsider our approach." But humans had no desire for conquest. Lena and Alex emphasized something that had always guided them: knowledge, protection, and innovation. They were not here to dominate, but to demonstrate that humanity could rise, adapt, and thrive. The next phase of the demonstration involved integrating human spacecraft with the alien ship systems. Small fighters, retrofitted with alien power cores, took off from Earth's surface, guided by the ship's energy field. They moved with precision, forming formations that no alien fleet had ever seen before. Their maneuvers were unpredictable yet flawless, showing not only technological superiority but also human creativity. As the demonstration continued, alien observers could only watch in disbelief. Every expectation, every assumption they had about humanity crumbled under the display of skill, intelligence, and innovation. "This is not just technology," one alien commander admitted, his voice barely audible. "It is strategy, creativity, adaptability. We have encountered no species like this." Meanwhile, on Earth, Lena and Alex prepared for the final part of the demonstration: a simulated defense against a coordinated alien fleet. Human and alien drones worked together, guided by the ship's energy field. Targets representing enemy vessels appeared, and humans directed precise energy beams, disabling them without destruction. The alien observers were stunned. Not only could humans control alien technology, but they could also outthink and outmaneuver the very species that had created it. Every calculated move, every strategic adjustment demonstrated the hallmark of humanity: resilience, ingenuity, and relentless problem-solving. Alex turned to Lena, a smile spreading across his face. "They thought they were superior, they thought humans were weak, and yet here we are showing them exactly the opposite." Lena nodded. "We've always done more with less. That's who we are. That's why we survived, why we adapted, and why we will continue to rise." The aliens had no choice but to respond. Representatives arrived in person, or at least in their own form of communication, offering dialogue instead of conflict. They acknowledged humans as equals, perhaps even as a species to be respected and feared. One alien emissary addressed the human team directly. "We were wrong. We believed your species incapable of such achievements, yet you have mastered what we abandoned. You have turned our failure into power. Earth, humanity, we recognize your place among the galaxy." Lena and Alex exchanged a glance, pride and quiet satisfaction in their eyes. Humanity had not only survived but had excelled, turning adversity into strength. They had taken a discarded alien vessel, studied it, mastered it, and improved it, proving that human ingenuity was a force no one could ignore. The emissary continued, "From this day forward, we will reconsider our policies, our assessments, and our interactions with humans. You have shown us that intelligence, creativity, and courage are not bound by size, technology, or experience. They are human. For the first time in history, humans stood in a position where their intellect and determination were recognized across species. Not through war, not through conquest, but through ingenuity, resilience, and relentless curiosity." Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. Engineers hugged, scientists cheered, and every member of the team felt the weight of what they had accomplished. Humanity had proven itself, not through domination, but through the mastery of what others deemed impossible. Alex and Lena walked through the corridors of the ship one final time, the hum of energy surrounding them. "We've done it," Alex said quietly. "We've taken something abandoned, something broken, and turned it into proof. Proof that humans are capable of greatness." Lena smiled. And the galaxy will never forget it. They will think twice before underestimating us again. The alien ship, once a failed vessel abandoned in the desert, now stood as a symbol of human achievement. Its power, once overlooked, was now fully under human control, and its potential was limitless. In the following months, humans continued to study and expand the ship's capabilities. They built hybrid spacecraft, improved energy systems, and developed defensive technologies that could protect Earth and its colonies. The knowledge they gained from the alien vessel laid the foundation for a future where humanity could explore the stars, not as a weak species, but as a leader, innovator, and force of ingenuity. The galaxy had taken notice. Aliens who once dismissed humanity as primitive now respected, and sometimes feared, the species that could turn failure into triumph. Earth was no longer a backwater planet. It was the birthplace of ingenuity, courage, and the unstoppable human spirit. As Lena and Alex stood together, watching the sunset over the desert and the glowing alien ship, they knew one thing with certainty. Humans had proven themselves. Not by conquest, not by brute force, but by intelligence, determination, and the ability to adapt. The universe had underestimated them once, and it would not make that mistake again. And somewhere in the vastness of space, alien observers noted the rise of humanity, not as a curiosity, not as a threat, but as a species capable of greatness beyond imagination. The ship's gentle hum filled the desert night, a heartbeat echoing the resilience of humanity. What was once a failure for the aliens had become the pinnacle of human achievement. The galaxy had witnessed the power of ingenuity, the strength of creativity, and the undeniable truth of HFY. Humans, against all odds, had turned the impossible into reality. Humanity had not just survived, they had risen. And the stars, vast and endless, now awaited their next move.